morality, or liberty. In Triangle Strategy, a fiery chronicle of war presented in stunning HD 2D.
My apologies.
Your actions will lead you through a riveting story that changes based on the decisions you make. In the end, where will your conviction guide you?
You have gone to the one place I cannot follow.
In response to the survey about the demo released in February of this year, the game has been fine-tuned with a focus on elements that received lots of feedback. These include adjustments to the difficulty, improvements to on-screen visuals, camera angle controls, the ability to review previous dialogue, and streamlined game flow and loading times. More details are now available on Nintendo.com.
Splendid.
Triangle Strategy will launch on Nintendo Switch March 4th, 2022. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Welcome back, everyone. I've been saying I need to cover this game, and I think I've made mentions in other videos I've been wanting to do so. So here we go, just about over 7 months late to this party, as well as almost a week from the announcement for the release date. Project Triangle Strategy, which is now just called Triangle Strategy. They did the same thing with Octopath Traveler. It was originally called Project Octopath Traveler. It is a turn-based tactical RPG, which was just announced last week will be releasing March 4, 2022, and is of similar fashion to Tactics Ogre, Disgaea, and it's practically the spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one of my all-time favorite games. Shares a few other similarities to tactical games like XCOM, a little bit of Gears Tactics, as well as the Shining Force series. Shining Force is another series I'll be covering on this channel at some point. I do stream it every Sunday over on twitch.tv/HSIGamers. Come check it out one of these nights. For those that don't know, you take control of a group of soldiers or units and traverse a battle map with a grid system that's laid over it. Based on stats and abilities, characters can move within a certain number of spaces per turn, heal and buff allies, attack enemies with weapons and spells, some of which can cover larger areas. You can level up, get stronger by buying new gear, etc., etc. Your standard fare for a tactical RPG. Now, a little bit about the game from Nintendo's official website. Command a group of warriors as Serenoa, heir to the House of Wolffort, in a tangled plot where your decisions make all the difference. Key choices you make will bolster one of three convictions: utility, morality, liberty, which together make up Serenoa's worldview and influence how the story will unfold. When faced with truly momentous decisions, multiple characters will weigh in by casting their votes on the scales of conviction. In these moments, the allies and decisions you make can determine the fate of whole nations and the continent of Norzelia itself. Now, just based on hearing this, there's going to be branching paths. Different characters may end up joining you or fighting against you. Nations are going to end up loving or hating you. There's going to be different endings, multiple paths. No playthrough is going to be the same, which is going to add a lot of replay value to it. Back in February, a demo for the game was released and feedback was requested over the next month. Now, moving over to the Triangle Strategy official webpage, we've got the results of said survey. I'm not going to go over absolutely everything here, but I do want to highlight a couple of things. Demo was downloaded approximately 1 million times globally as of September 2021, and there were approximately 25,000 survey responses between February 22 and March 21st. And they thank us for all of our participation. A note from the developers: we're grateful to have received a lot of responses from people all over the world and are very glad as developers to have gotten positive feedback and suggestions from each region. We're working on various improvements for the final version of Triangle Strategy based on the responses of the survey. Please take a look. I'm not going to try to butcher those names, so that's a note from the producers. So moving down, we see loading times during events have been reduced and are now approximately 10 seconds shorter in most notable scenes, and they're looking to make them a little bit shorter. Now, events right here in the debut demo, it was necessary to return to the world map. They're actually going to be trying to limit you from having to go back out to the world map. Autoplay and skip functions have been added too, which is really great if you're trying to speed through a second playthrough and you're going through certain parts that you know are very similar. Conversation logs have been added, which is great, which I think is what this video here details. We'll just run it here real quick.
Think, my princess.
You got the little L right here for the log. You can fast forward and the auto. Coming up here towards the end, we should see the log. Skip ahead. Yep, and there's the log right there. And you can actually click on it. You can hear the audio once again. And the cursor speed from the world map has been a little bit faster, and icons for character episodes and side stories have made easier to distinguish, which is really great. Battle difficulty, looks like they added an easy and a hard mode. I'm not exactly sure if you can change that on the fly or before each battle, or if it's like right in the beginning, although it does say it can be changed later, so not sure exactly the rules behind that. Battle operation camera controls have been adjusted. The degree of zoom in and zoom out can be adjusted freely, and the camera can now be rotated 90 degrees quickly by clicking the right stick. And rotation sensitivity has been changed, as we can see highlighted here, that the camera actually can zoom all the way in and all the way out, when originally I believe it was just stuck from two different extremes, from here and then right there, and that was it. That's all we could do. So it's great that you can go in and out. Now, moving on, they changed the command while hovering the cursor over the enemies within attack range. You can actually compare and evaluate estimated damage and accuracy rates, which I actually thought was in the demo. I can't 100% remember that. Simulation mode has been added, allowing you to check estimated results of actions against enemies inside and outside your attack range. Weapon icons now display easily, distinguish the enemy types and weapons, and added emphasis to target lines extending from boss characters with especially powerful attacks. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like here. This is showing the comparison right here as well. But moving along, hovering the cursor over the enemies displays their turn order, which we can see here and here. And the turn order is also added to the active time bar, which is down here as well. Moving on to this next video, location of the command window has been changed to improve visibility, and more options have been added for screen visibility effects and controls. Probably different particle effects, brightness, and such has been added. But if we click here, you can see that the window is actually right here, when originally it was almost covering your characters, and it was actually very hard to see. So this is a really nice quality of life change right there. Other changes that they have, control center for during exploration phase has been improved. A button input is now required to enter and leave houses, to prevent entering by mistake. Panel colors while selecting a destination has been adjusted, which we saw in a video a little bit higher up. It's a little bit, I'm not exactly sure if it's a little bit brighter, if it's just a different contrast, but it does look better. Adding an icon indicating when a back attack is possible. That's really great to know if you're not really paying attention to where you're at, where your units are, because a lot of them are it just gets a little bit chaotic on the battlefield here. Implemented gameplay tips during loading screens, which is always a nice thing to see, especially for new players. It looks like I skipped one. Added a feature that automatically creates quick save data after a certain number of turns during battle. Again, nice little quality of life change right there. Added a screen during the battle preparation to show which units are or are not deployed. Added a feature to display guides about terrain effects during battle. That's actually pretty big, because there's a lot more. If anybody remembers in tactics, different weather and different stuff on the ground would affect your attacks. Be able to have a little bit of a guide behind it, especially in this game. If you, for example, drop an ice spell, it could actually leave a little bit of pool of water. You can actually strike that with lightning, and it'll actually do a little bit more damage. Certain things like that, it's great to have a guide for that. Added a feature to allow the button guide information at the bottom of the screen to be hidden. That's actually really great, because it was really annoying during the demo that all of this down here, we'll play this again, actually, it's too short, but you can kind of see it faded here. Show to hide guide is right there. Reset camera, toggle unit display, all that can disappear, which is really great. Added a feature to show a character's final destination prior to using an ability that involves character movement. Again, really great quality of life change right there. Improved the display for buffs and debuffs and the number of turns that the effect will last on objects. Also really great there. Implemented a battle retry feature, and button assignments have been adjusted as well. I guess it's to make the controls for the game a little bit easier. And we have a note from the developers here. Based on the survey results, users have high expectations for the game's story, the personalities of the characters, and the system for leveling up and improving characters in tactical strategy games. These are elements you may not have been able to fully enjoy with the debut demo. However, in the final version of Triangle Strategy, you'll be able to experience the events leading up to the invasion and what happens after you make specific decisions. The story will branch out in various ways, and many unique characters will enter the story. We hope you'll look forward to it. Lastly, our development team was very happy to receive encouraging results about the purchase intent from those who responded to the survey. We will continue to develop the game in an effort to meet your expectations. We appreciate your continued support for Triangle Strategy. From the producers. We're 6 months from launch, so hopefully there's a little more info coming our way this week at Tokyo Game Show, or maybe an updated demo at some point. We shall see. If not, it'll be about 6 months until we can play this game. So that'll do it for this release date and update video for Triangle Strategy. If any of you have actually tried the demo, planning on trying it, or just fans of the genre itself, leave a comment below and throw some thoughts my way. That'll do it. Thank you all for watching.